All right, Aquarius, welcome in. How are you doing? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Aquarius. Let's see where we go. We got a lot going on in the stars these days in the sky, and I will talk a little bit about that. You just should know. You've got Pluto in your sign. I'm sure you know about this. Everybody's been talking about it for a long time. And Pluto in Aquarius is about the changes we make as we move to the future. The Pluto in Aquarius is going to be very transformative for all of us, but particularly you in your own sign. It's also aspecting, it's also talking to Saturn. So there can be something a little bit at the end of this month about the rules you thought, the rules of the game, maybe dissolving, because Saturn is going to move back into Pisces, and that's the energy of dissolving. It's also sitting there with Neptune. So there's something about the way you thought the world should work and how that might not be true anymore. All right, so let's just take a look at where we're going here. Healer, boundaries, indeed, shadow, and water. Some of you have been really reliant on that mindset about this is how things should work, right? Like there's a sense of, Aquarius is a fixed sign. And so even though it's fixed air, right? Air is ideas, air is thinking, and it's sextiling Saturn. And so that is an opportunity. A sextile is an opportunity. You kind of have to activate it. So that you can make new rules, new structures for yourself, because things are changing. All right. Things are changing. And I feel like there's something going on here that needs your attention. There's some kind of shadow of you that's coming up that other people are noticing. Okay. Other people are noticing this shadow, and it's time for you to look into it. Could have something to do with relationships, could have something to do with your own health and well-being. We have a new moon in Virgo in this end of August. We also have Venus entering the chat. So there could be something about Venusian energy, feminine energy. We do have the water here, which is a feminine symbol. And it has to do with accessing your feelings. And maybe you have a rule that you feel like that's something that has been not helpful to you in the past or has made you vulnerable. Like you made a rule somewhere along the line that said, no, I'm not going to let anybody see how I feel, or I'm not going to access my feelings. It's too raw. It's too harmful to me. But you're going to need to go there in order to get to the next chapter here. And, with Pluto transiting your sign for the next 20 years, this is the long game. This isn't about like a weekend transit or a Mercury fast moving thing. Even though those are important, they're not long-term transformative. This is that I'm talking about. I'm saying that maybe some way you've been your whole life, maybe very stoic, right? Aquarius is known for being very detached. So that may show up as a handicap, not as a good thing, as something that's holding you fast to an old set of rules that don't work anymore. So it's, showing empathy, showing compassion, that's the superpower. And that might be something that needs healing within you for some reason, childhood, whatever it is. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. There's a lot more to the astrology, and I'll be doing some shorts and some other things about the astrology. Maybe we'll talk about it in the extended a little bit more, or it'll show up in the reading, whichever. 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 9 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, and the Temperance card. I love this 10 of Pentacles here. So there's definitely something about learning about working in collaboration rather than just being a standalone. I feel like Archangel Michael is bringing this in and saying, no man is an island kind of a thing. And it's like the end of this cycle. We got 2 nines here, 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, something about being on your own or feeling like I'm on my own. And the new chapter, I love the 3 of Pentacles being here. It's like Archangel Michael is bringing in someone who is going to help you. right? The Six of Swords, bringing in someone who is going to help you develop your life. And the key to that, I feel like, is accessing feelings. And feelings is our intuition. Like, being detached from feelings means you're detached from intuition in many ways. And that is going to be a huge handicap moving forward. Detachment from stuff has served its purpose, has helped, and has been good in certain instances. It's not a binary thing. It's not either or. It's not like, oh, I either have feelings and I'm totally empathic and I'm, getting stomped on by people, or I have boundaries and I can detach. Those two things need to work together. Okay? So there it is. I love you. All right. Justice, balance, right? It's both of these things together. The Queen of Wands, creativity, the Eight of Wands, very much about moving forward quickly when these things are balanced. Queen of Swords, the Emperor, that might be the block here. You might have a person in your life that's very controlling. Okay. And Fool, like you're seeing the benefit of that person or the benefit of that learning, right? This might be the shadow part of you that says, I didn't assert myself with the person who is controlling. I'm kind of seeing how that's a lesson for me. There's Aries, right? Aries, we have Saturn and Aries right now. So I'm seeing how I did not take advantage of that. Now I'm seeing how I can learn from that person for the new path. That person has boundaries. That person, so you might have only seen that person as somebody who's a block to your own needs. But now it's more beneficial for you to see the value. What was the lesson from this person? Instead of just detaching, oh, they're controlling, right? What was the benefit? You don't have to stand in front of them and do this work. There's no need to, especially if this person's kind of out of your life or whatever. But there is a need to see it. There's the Death card, the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Look at all the nines. So we're definitely at the end of a cycle here. The 9 is the Hermit. So you may see a time of being on your own in a different way. You may have felt like super duper hyper independent, which is what Aquarius and Aries have in common a little bit, this hyper independence. But I feel like there's something different about your belief systems. That's something about, needing collaboration or seeing how people are important in your life. Seeing the lessons of people. So if you, I was talking with Pathfinders this week about the paradigm where we're talking about unity consciousness in the world. Unity consciousness in the world and being able to see where things are valuable and where things are a lesson for us and not just dismissing things. And I feel like that might be one of the lessons you need to look at right now. As we move toward this new moon in Virgo, it's going to be really important that you not only understand the details of how you want to move forward, but also how does that unfold into your communication? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So how does that unfold into your communication? This first new moon on the 22nd, 23rd of August is going to be at 0 degrees. So this is pure Virgo energy. And you may really see this as an important shift in how you communicate, meaning maybe you're adding in your feelings this time. So that new moon is 150 degrees away, which is called a quincunx, which you don't need to know right now. But that means incremental change. Not like, woo, throwing everything out, but just incremental change is going to make a big difference. A huge difference. It's not going to be like, I have to completely transform myself. It only requires a little bit of your effort and energy. It may seem like a lot more to you. And we also have Jupiter, sorry, Jupiter and Venus in Cancer right now, which is also 150 degrees the other way. And that is the quincunx energy too. And that is about incremental change in terms of your feelings, in terms of your nurturance, self-nurturance. There's definitely some energy here about like helping and nurturing and maybe being nurtured, right? And allowing yourself to be cared for. Maybe that had been a block in the past, like, hyper independence. And when, Venus is really going to enter the chat, when Venus moves into the energy of Virgo. And when Venus does that, when Venus enters Leo, it's not going to enter Virgo for a little bit. When Venus enters Leo, your opposite sign, there's a lot of energy there because it is going to be connected by aspects. It's going to be talking to other planets in Aries, that we were just talking about here. And Venus is going to become kind of like an oppositional force. So there's a lot of feelings about something coming up, a lot of feelings. And if you are unable to access them, it's going to show up in weird ways. Okay. When we try to jam down our feelings, then we're not learning from them and we're not able to connect to people. There's a lot of disconnection here. And I feel like that's part of this shadow aspect that Aquarius is learning right now. So when Venus gets activated by being opposite to you, it's opposite to Pluto in specific in the beginning, when Venus just, immediately moves into Leo later this month, there's going to be this sense of, I don't want to change because it's going to make me too vulnerable. It's going to make me be open. And I feel like there's something wrong with that, something weak about that. Big change is coming in. Okay, big change is coming in. And I'm sure you know that from all of the talk about Pluto being in your sign for 20 years, because Pluto is your soul. This is part of your soul mission. Okay, this is part of your soul mission. And if you haven't done the shadow work, if you have, this feels easier to me. If you haven't done the shadow work or have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about shadow work, but it resonates with you that you're kind of like hyper independent and you feel like that's a really, really good thing, then there's going to be some moments here in this end of the month where you might feel very vulnerable and not really have a way to process it. Okay. So when Virgo has that new moon, Virgo is saying with that new moon is definitely saying to you that it's time to make incremental change and shifting so that you can handle these changes over time. Okay. You don't have to do all the changing right now, but it is going to ask you, do you have a plan? Virgo is very much about planning. Oy. All right. So I see the nines here, the 9 of cups and the 9 of pentacles, the 9 of wands and the 9 of swords. Talk to me about that ending, please. 3 of swords, the strength card, the 6 of cups, and the page of swords. So there's definitely there's an ending that's happening. The death card, then all the nines. There's an ending that's happening and it's coming from childhood. It's like somebody that you thought was the right person or somebody that you put on a pedestal. Okay, somebody you put on a pedestal is really leaving your life. Some of you are not prepared for how to process this because there's still this internal child that needs nurturance and needs caring. And maybe that person did or didn't do that. And so there's this sense of like, oh yeah, I need to do that for myself. But also like, wow, this person may leave your life kind of in an unceremonious kind of way. That really kind of proves your point that like, oh yeah, they're controlling. Oh yeah, they're this. Oh yeah, they're that. But that still doesn't heal that little part of you inside that needs nurturance and love. It's like, why did I choose this? Could be a Leo. Okay, it could be a Leo energy, your opposite sign. This really feels like inner child stuff to me with this shadow. And that Page of Swords is a messenger. So the reason I keep talking about this new moon is that it's in Virgo, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So and this Eight of Wands here. So there's some messages coming in for you about how to proceed forward in this new paradigm. The things that get dissolved, the rules that get dissolved, right? The traditions, the Hierophant there, the traditions that are getting dissolved. And how do I proceed forward now? Ten of Swords. There's the 10. Okay, so now we've gotten to the 10. 10 of Swords, Knight of Swords, 8 of Cups, and the Empress energy. Venus enters the chat. Awesome. This is about you learning to self-soothe, you learning to heal yourself. This person actively needs to leave your life. It's possible that they either did a good job of trying to help nurture you and care for you, and you were too independent to really connect with them, or this person was kind of a bully and you were forced to learn to protect yourself and self-nurture. Either way, right? Those are two sides of the same coin. That someone was overbearing in terms of their controlling nature, right? In terms of swamping you, and that was something that made you distance, or someone was a bully and that made you distance. Like either way, okay. And so this could be healing from your parents, from your upbringing, and this can also be, especially if you are, I mean, Emperor, Empress here, if you are really aligned with twin flame, this opens the door. Okay, this opens the door for twin flame. And for those of you not really on the twin flame path, this opens the door for very strong soulmate energy, because now you've accessed your feelings and you're able to see your shadow. You're able to have done some healing work. If you've already done some healing work, this is going to show you how far you've come. Okay, so let's continue on. I want to see what else happens in the month of August for you, the end of August. Link is below if this is your reading. I'll see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.